I often work with clients who seem to have everything: a spacious apartment, expensive renovations, high quality furniture. But the most important thing is missing: the feeling of home. The interior feels foreign, silent. It's difficult to relax or reach that essential state of flow. Does it sound familiar to you? When a space doesn't charge you with energy, but simply exists around you. Recently, I found myself in just such a space in Spain. It was a bedroom with great potential despite its complex architecture, but unfortunately, it suffered from a full set of decorating mistakes that killed the entire atmosphere. Look, there are walls, there is furniture, there is function, but there is absolutely no life, no playfulness, no emotion. Honestly, because of this interior, I couldn't fully rest. I simply couldn't stay there for long and literally dreaded the moment I had to return to the room. Now imagine the state of people who live in such interiors for years. This dissatisfaction with one's home accumulates and takes a heavy toll on your mental well-being. Home ceases to be a sanctuary. Many think the only way to fix this is through a massive construction project. Layout changes, tearing down walls and replacing floors. But my experience shows that a cozy, enveloping and supportive atmosphere is easily created through skilled approach to the existing space and well-thought-out stylistic concept. I'm Anastasia, an interior decorator. I help people move from feeling frustrated by their own homes to creating a personal sanctuary where every detail reflects your identity and fuels your energy. And most importantly, we do this without the need of major construction in just 5 weeks. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 stages of my process using a real-life example. We will transform a cold, discordant room into a personal sanctuary based on deep personal codes, something you haven't seen before. And I will use only decorating tools, no unnecessary drama of demolition or endless dust. Stage 1. Listening to the room. The transformation of a space begins with a deep analysis. The room itself dictates 50% of what we can do. Anything else will look out of place. For instance, you cannot recreate an Italian palazzo in a modern high-rise with floor-to-ceiling windows. It would simply be a fake. Let's look at the baseline of this room. What is wrong here? Of course, architectural chaos. I counted 12 corners. Slanted entrances, niches, protrusions. This creates immense visual and even physical tension. Psychologically, sharp corners are perceived as sharp and therefore dangerous, making it very difficult for the brain and body to relax. Plus, there is a parade of doors. In one bedroom, we have 3 different interior doors and 3 swinging doors for the built-in closet. The room is literally chopped into pieces. When you have so many doors and protrusions in a small space, you cannot afford to make them high contrast or colorful. By the way, choosing the right color is 80% of success. And to make sure you don't make a mistake, I've created a free guide to color in interiors. In it, I explain how color affects a space and how to find that perfect tone. The link is in the description. Be sure to download it. Disproportions. Notice how the contrast cuts the room. Our eyes catch on the dark upper line of the closets, and everything above it, the white wall and ceiling, simply disappears. Dark closets against white walls act like a guillotine. They visually sever the ceilings, making the room feel lower. Furthermore, pieces of tiled baseboards that have somehow climbed up the wall strip it of its dignity. This wall has simply been left to the wolves. The temperature of the interior. Look at the floor. Tile in a bedroom is often a crime against coziness. It immediately makes the room feel like a hospital or a lobby. But it's different if you live in a tropical climate. Then stepping onto a cold floor with bare feet is really refreshing. But in this region, there are cold spells that require warmth and softness underfoot. Well, it's not a big deal. This can be achieved with the right rug. But the issue isn't just the tile itself, but its appearance. The pattern is simply awful. It instantly cheapens the interior regardless of how nice everything else might be. Also, the cold light from the bedside lamps made it impossible to feel comfortable here. And I think you've noticed that there is a lot of random objects here. A green iron bed, massive heavy nightstands, posters of tropical beaches. It all looks awkward and out of place. It's a random collection of things that aren't talking to each other. An ideal set of furniture and objects is one that encourages the space to sing in a single melody. And the heater standing almost in the middle of the room doesn't even need a coolant. In decorating, we must either hide technical appliances or camouflage them. So my job at this stage as a decorator is to identify the ailments of the room that you might not even consciously notice, but which irritate you on a subconscious level. In this case, I will be quieting the geometry and removing the chaos. Stage 2. The psychological portrait. The second stage is always about the person. An interior is an extension of your personality, don't forget about it. Usually I conduct a deep survey with my clients, but I don't just look at the answers, I analyze the client's appearance, the lines of their face, their body language, their expressions. Many are surprised, I think, but this can tell a lot about a person's inner world, often things they don't even know about themselves. By blending your unique physical traits with your life's journey, I craft a personal style map. This map identifies the artistic spaces that resonates with your soul, forming the blueprint for a home that fits you like a second skin. In this case, the client is me. My request was simple yet deep. I'm on vacation, and beyond needing a space where I can relax, I want to feel the atmosphere of a place that is new to me. I want to hear its voice, live the stories of these lands, and immerse myself in a fairy tale told in the language of visuals and meanings. I want it to lead me away from my daily routine so I can absorb this enchanting new experience. As you can see, in a space like this, that is impossible. So the interior needs to change urgently. But how? My physical features will tell the story. In my face and figure, rounded, wavy lines predominate. Even my hair is naturally curly. These waves are felt by the body as something fluid, flexible, and even playful. Voluminous forms, cheeks, hips, the energetic curl of my hair all evoke a sense of life, youth, and internal strength. On one hand, there is softness and play, on the other, there is certain strength and focus in the muscles. Even my eyes are not a pure blue, they have a hint of silver, which gives them depth, coolness, and mystery. These are the contrasts, soft lines and forms on one side, and the cool, piercing gaze on the other. This is the core image of my character, a gentle, playful cat that can transform into a panther. This is why I feel an energy resonance with Renoir's Gabrielle with the Rose, who evokes excitement and awe. She is innocent, as is her shy gaze, and that is her charm. In contrast with the Venus of Urbino, she is a more mature lady with a defiant gaze. You can read the confidence in her eyes, and her entire pose speaks to it. Just look at those rounded, lush hips. But I also won't forget the ancient power that lives within me, personified by the Paleolithic Venus as a mother goddess. Finally, that sense of mystery and cosmic scale draws me towards the east, toward Orientalism. For me, these are kindred spaces, predatory, wild, and cunning. I wanted to express this part of my personality in this space in southern Spain, near the raging elements of water and wild nature, where the Arabic influence was very strong and its echoes continue to live. Therefore, we are immediately getting rid of the awkward postures of Maldivian palms, the soulless tiles, and the red-brown doors. We are clearing it all out. Stage 3. Context and style. The third stage is the context and style of the space itself. Now that we know the stylistic codes of our client, me, we need to translate this into the interior. We must also account for environmental conditions, climate, the amount of light, historical context, and so on. A simple example, the color yellow. You can't just paint walls bright yellow in Norway or St. Petersburg. Without bright, blinding sunlight, this color will never reveal itself. It will look muddy and depressing. But we are in Andalusia. This is southern Spain, a region with deep Arabic roots, with Morocco just across the strait. Here, the sun is harsh and scorching for much of the year, so we can boldly play with bright colors. However, for this specific bedroom, I chose minimalist Moroccan style. Here is why it fits perfectly. On one hand, it is a tribute to the location. In Latin, there is an expression, genius loci, which refers to the unique spiritual atmosphere, character, and soul of a specific place. Simply put, the spirit of the place. By choosing this style, we preserve that spirit. On the other hand, for my dual nature, pure Moroccan style would be too loud, too energetic and overwhelming. It would suppress my sensitive, soft feminine side and prevent me from relaxing. Therefore, this style needs to be balanced and grounded to allow that wild feminine nature to flourish. And voila! We have derived the ideal stylistic combination based on the architecture, the client's personality, and the local context. This is the part of my work I love most. It is exactly at the meeting point of the client's psychology and the spirit of the place that a truly unique design is born. And if you'd like me to create a concept like this personally for you, you can book my private decorating service via the link in the description. Stage 4. Aligning expectations. Now we move to practical side. Many people ask, Anastasia, this deep psychology is fascinating, but how does it translate into my real home without losing anything in translation? This is where my structured system comes in. When you work with me, it's not just a creative talk, it's a clear professional process. First, the deep dive. After you purchase my consultation, you receive a detailed questionnaire. We decode your life story, your codes, and even your physical appearance to find your personal artistic spaces. Second is alignment. Every stage is discussed and aligned step by step. My goal is to hit those desires you might not even have words for yet. Third, the reveal. At the end, you don't just get a PDF. You receive a detailed video presentation of your entire concept. I walk you through every color, texture, and meaning so you can feel your future home before you buy a single cushion. And the last is implementation. I stay with you, I select real, available items, and if something goes out of stock, I'm there to find a perfect alternative. This system ensures that the magic we've discussed becomes a reality. Now let's look at the emotional map, the mood board I created for this specific bedroom. As you can see, there are pastel tones, natural textures, and a dash of bright color, and even a note of wildness to break up this quiet heaven. To me, it's a perfect balance. Stage 5. Transformation. Now for the most exciting part, the step-by-step transformation. Watch what we do. First, I remove all the unnecessary items. Now we can work. Since the geometry of this room is complex and stressful, we need to shift the focus away from it and balance the walls and those 12 corners. To do this, I'm painting everything, walls and doors, in a single color. Fortunately, it's easy now to find the matching shades for both walls and wood. In this case, it's a specific shade of white that perfectly dissolves all the imperfections. Any other color, especially a bright one, would have highlighted them. The closets and doors no longer cut into the wall. And by the way, color isn't just a whim. I'm sure you know it's trendy right now to protest against white walls, but that usually shows a lack of knowledge about why white is sometimes the only solution. In the guide, I paid a lot of attention to the perception of colors in terms of the emotions they evoke. Color is a real tool of influence. Link to the guide is in the description. Moving to the floor. My task now is to prepare the canvas so I can apply the desired pattern. The floor tile is an eyesore, so we are going to paint it too. Remember, one of the joys of decorating is minimizing destruction. There is no need to replace a tile. Luckily, you can just paint it. Yes, paint can do that too. But you must choose carefully. In my personal work, I provide several options for floor paint that will last. I chose a color for the floor slightly darker than the walls and ceiling. And voila! Our canvas is ready. How do you like the before and after? Now we can start decorating. First, I want to immediately ground the space with a bold rug that hints at something wild and primal, a nod to our instincts. My character is already starting to manifest in the room's personality. I also want to preserve the beautiful architecture of the balcony door, so I won't hide it behind heavy curtains, which would look awkward in this niche and still precious space. Instead, for privacy, I'm installing a linen roll-up shade. At night, it shields us from prying eyes. During the day, when rolled up, it lets us admire the beautiful French door and the flowers on the balcony. The bed will be the protagonist of this interior. Not only is it the largest object, but it's also the first thing we see upon entering. That's why I chose a noble rounded headboard in a dessert chocolate tone. It looks even more interesting thanks to the fine texture created by the woven rattan. I'm dressing the bed with a milky pink bedspread featuring burgundy fringe that cascades down to the floor. It turns out so feminine, yet full of character. To add even more softness, I'm placing a plush, fluffy poof near the balcony door. For nightstands, I played with asymmetry. On one side, a fluid, wavy white form with a glossy finish, on the other, a miniature, white, carved chest of drawers. Above the bed, I'm hanging an aged silver Moroccan lamp. In the evening, it will cast mesmerizing, flickering patterns across every surface of the bedroom. You can even light some incense to create a mysterious, hazy atmosphere. If that isn't a fairy tale, then what is? We also need additional lighting for the bedside area, so I used a metallic table lamp and a floor lamp. This creates a playful visual rhythm and makes you want to explore the details of the interior. The final touches here, wall decor and pillows. I'm also adding a bluish tray on the shelf, which ties in perfectly with the fuchsia plants on the balcony. The frontal view is complete. Let's decorate the wall on the left. In the narrow niche, we'll hang a mirror with a wavy wooden frame and place a floor lamp for extra lighting. It's vital to have multiple light sources to create different lighting scenarios and moods. And to complete the look on the right, we'll hang a silver candle holder and add a small, vibrant poster. Oh, and don't forget the very last detail, let's hang tassels on the closet handles. Well, shall we look at the result? It's the same room, the same walls, but a completely different feeling of life. From a cold, fragmented space, we have created a sensual, deep, personal interior that tells a captivating story. And we didn't need a major renovation. We used only color, composition, the right selection of items, and a little bit of magic, psychology, and art. All the items used here actually exist and are easy to order, so a new interior can be assembled in a very short time. That is the power of professional decorating. Yes, my philosophy is simple. Your home should be an extension of you. It should fill you, develop you, and shape you. So many people talk about the importance of nurturing our inner world, but we often overlook the external material world that surrounds us. Our physical environment has a profound impact on our psyche, and it's up to us to curate our surroundings so that this influence is nurturing and positive. If you feel your current interior is soulless, silent, or perhaps even in conflict with you, if you want to unlock the potential of your home and create a space worthy of you, I invite you to work with me personally. We will decode your codes, respect your home's architecture, and create a sanctuary you will finally want to return to. You will find the details in the description, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon!